what happens in a woman's body when she undereats calories and exercises?
So I think even if you don't try to lose weight, it's the message is so strong for women that I shared with you on my podcast that like we undereat just because we think it's more feminine, just like smaller meals, smaller bites, avoiding steaks or meat, right? Like I think we not only don't eat enough calories, we don't eat enough fat and enough protein. Like if I look at, I worked with so many women right now, and it's incredible. It feels like, can you write down everything that you ate today? And it's usually just processed carbs or carbs and sugar, very little healthy fats, very little protein. And so we like scared to eat normal meals because of societal standards and just like, I'll just have a smoothie or I'll just have a latte and I'll be fine. So I think it's just like there's a lot of healing that needs to happen, because the moment we don't have enough calories, we not only have massive hormone disruptions, there is a big psychological like refeeding syndrome that happens as well. When we just basically start to eat the yo-yo diet, right? So you undereat, and then you have a very unhealthy relationship with food where you will get hungry after a while, and leptin and ghrelin gets all confused. And all of a sudden, I had that. I could never feel full on a vegan diet. I was just like, I had to tell myself, okay, time to leave the kitchen, but I could never feel full. And I always felt hungry. It's like, it was so hard, and there's this moment in the book where I mentioned that I was listening to your interview with Dr. Mike Hyman, and you said, if you can't fast for 12 hours, like you don't have metabolic flexibility. And I'm like, what's that? I remember thinking and I'm like, and I tried like fasting for like till 12. And I was just like, oh my God, I feel like I'm dying. Like, how can people do it every day? And so that was like a big turning point, actually, that interview of yours, and you saying that I was like, oh shit, maybe my diet isn't that good, because I genuinely, I had stomach pains. Like I couldn't go without.
Yeah. When I was a vegan too, I bought bowls like as big as my upper body to try and get like enough salad in there. And I would just like chop up all these veggies. It was ridiculous. These giant red salad bowls from one of those, I forget the name of that fancy kitchen place, like Williams Sonoma. And I'm like, it takes so long to chew that much food. I'll put it all into a blender. And I'm doing like a gallon of blended veggies with coconut oil and all that other crap in there. And I was never full, like just constant aching hunger. I think that women, that creates more stress in women's bodies than it does in men's, because you're more sensitive to a lack of calories, lack of nutrients, because it affects your monthly cycle. And for guys, it affects longer cycles. Does that sound real?
100%. And I think, even up until this point, we still get shamed for eating full meals, like in a restaurant when, sometimes my fiance prefers sometimes a sweeter breakfast. So he would order waffles and I would order a steak, and the waiter comes. So it's like, oh, steak for me. It's like, oh, wow, such a small girl and you eat so much. I don't give a F, but like most women get a little intimidated by it, because it's like, it's so common.
Your waiters actually say that, really?
Yeah.
A lot of women just be like such an ugly waiter and there's nothing you can do about it or anything like that. It just feels like there should be like a smarmy response to that.
No, but if you're a woman in your 20s and 30s, I'd say you probably have to eat a little bit more than your boyfriend. You have so much more at stake. Your fertility is at stake. Like you need that fat. I was like, I just don't understand. Like if anything, we should normalize women eating more, not less.
I've never been attracted to women who only eat like 2 bites of salad, because you know what they do? They eat half my steak. Oh, I'll just have a bite. And I'm like, I actually needed 2 steaks and I only ordered 1 because I was being polite. And now I'm just like, I just ordered like, hey, can I have the steak and then another side of steak on the same plate? And they're like, what? Like, I don't want the other crap beans or whatever. Just put 2 steaks on a plate and whatever veggies I actually want to eat that you serve, which isn't probably that many. And and I've done that on dates too. And I'm like, sorry, I'm gonna eat the big steak because I don't have the brain and body that I want if I don't eat enough steak. And if that's an issue,
Yeah.
like it's probably not a good match. Fortunately, I find
That eliminates 80% of women in the US for
I
you.
don't I
But
don't
sounds
think it
like
does.
you're happily in a
I don't
relationship. So
think it does. I've been on a good number of dates, so maybe it's just because of a function of who I am in the world.
yeah.
But um, I can't imagine a guy being like bothered by a woman nourishing herself. And,
Yeah.
and if you're a guy and a woman you're seeing actually wants to eat and it turns you off, dude, get a therapist. Like seriously, you have seated psychological issues and you need to deal with those right now.
I mean, because it's
True.
like, I think it comes like the hunger for life, and that I think a lot of boys or men, children are intimidated by strong women, and there's something powerful about eating a good meal. It's like claiming your power back and just saying, "Hey, I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat." And I think a lot of men can be intimidated by it.